I am so excited. This is the first Sunday in 2022.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
today, what we are doing is I have a group of coaches here. As you know, my name is Traci Harrell. I am a certified success coach. Yay! And I'm here with two other certified success coaches and one of my closest friends who's also a coach. And so we're going to talk to you today about how to attain any goal in your life. Anything that you think you want to achieve in 2022, there's a way to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by telling you who we are, what our goals are for 2022, and what we're going to do, right? And because guess what? We're human beings. There's some areas where we are jamming and other areas where we each know we have some work to do too. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to hold ourselves accountable lovingly in this space. And then we're going to provide you so many tips, so many success strategies on what you need to do to be successful. You're going to be like, I got to hang with these ladies on a regular. So my name is again is Traci Harrell, and I'm going to start with to my right. And Miss Crystal, I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and a little bit about why do you do this work? We'll just start there. Who are you and why are you doing this work as a coach?
Excellent. Well, Traci, thank you so much for having me on. I am Crystal Hughes, and I am a coach and a real estate agent. I own a real estate team, CEO of my real estate team, and a coach. And I do this because I myself have reached limits in my life and needed people and coaches and accountability to help me get beyond my limiting beliefs. And so seeing people exceed their own personal expectations and business expectations is why I do. And I get up every day to help people and make a difference.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to go next to Miss Jennifer Nash. You're the bottom right hand corner. Tell us who you are and why do you do this work?
Hello, I am Jennifer Ness, and I am a part of Fiscal Finesse LLC. And I do this work because I like to reach women who are like me in any way, shape, or form, preferably that look like me, just as beautiful as me, but also women who've come from a background of lack and they want to learn how to grow, especially in the area of finances, entrepreneurship, and then also just coming out of trauma. So that's why I do this work. I like reaching women who are similar to me, who may not have the resources or just the know-how to grow from where they are. So that's why I do this work, and I'm excited about it.
We are so glad to have you. Lisa is the fourth woman who is joining us today. Lisa, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you and why is it so important for you? Why was it so important for you to be a coach? And I think you're muted, Lisa. And just to clarify, you're not just a coach, you're a certified success coach as well. So tell us, why was that important to you?
That's correct. And thank you for that nice introduction. I'll piggyback a little bit on what each of you have already said, which is I'm a commercial real estate broker. I have been for a great many years. I've been doing that for a long time. But I also have a background in psychology. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology. I had a life coach certification also. And prior to the success coaching, I really enjoy being able to help people see and realize their dreams, both personal and professional. And I'm able to do some of that in the commercial real estate that I do, but I'd like to take it a step further, both for them and for myself. I mean, just as you said when you introduced us, I mean, I'm on a journey just like everyone else is to try to do, have, and be better, just like everyone else is. So, there's that expression, a lifting tide rises all boats. And so, as we're all on a journey to do better, we can all do better together. And there's no better platform to do that than with success coaching. And you all, and I love you.
I agree. I'm so excited to be a part of the success coaching community. It really is. I mean, what I like about them is they're saying, hey, we got to make sure we take this coaching whole profession to another level, because you can be a coach and not have any certification or not really have driven any change in someone's life. And we know that people that are doing this for decades and the people who really have it in their heart to change lives, they're doing it, and they're doing it really to change lives. And so I'm going to go right into what we identified as question number 1. And so what I shared previously on other shows is that in addition to spending 25 years in corporate America, I've been doing work as a consultant for free. Right. So one of the goals that I identified in 2022 is that I am going to formalize the process, and I'm going to ensure that there's a financial element to the work that I'm doing, right? There are corporations who, as a leadership coach and someone who is a professional and expert in inclusion, there are organizations who have paid me toward the end of the year, a lot of money actually, to do what they say they want to do. And that is really where I'm going to focus in 2022, because it's work that I do and work that I can do and work that they say they want to do. Now, what I was going to ask you all about is some personal goals, right? So I know what I'm going to do, one of them, which is easy for me, but I want to talk about goals that aren't easy. So the other thing that I'm going to do in 2022 is work on losing 100 pounds, right? Whether that happens at 22 or just being more fit. I got a lot of work to do in that area, and that's not as easy. And I equate those two goals in 22. I equate those things with just basic success strategies. Because ladies, we know how to be successful. We're here because we are successful women who want to help other women and men be successful in their lives. And so what I'm doing is I'm kind of equating this journey that I'm on for being more healthy with the journey of inclusion and leadership for other organizations. So my question to each of you is, if you thought about your 2022, going into this new year, what are some of the things that you want to do? Identify what you want to do and potentially, and then we'll talk about the challenges to getting to those goals and what you're going to do to be more successful. So I'm going to start with you, Miss Crystal. Coach Crystal, tell us a little bit about what your goals are going to be in 2022.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, and I love what you're doing with your health, and really you've been a servant leader. You know, you've been, Traci, investing in so many other people, and for it to come back around for you in a financial form, I think that will be amazing. So I just had to touch on that a little bit there. So for me, I am currently coaching 4 real estate agents and 2 business owners, and got certified through Success Coaching, like you ladies. And I close around about 7 to 10 million each year as an individual real estate business owner. And so my goal this year is to build a real estate team full-time and to finalize my managing broker's license in January, right? So we have to put what we want to do and then a timeline on it, right? So my goal is to grow my real estate team starting in this month, and at the end of the month, to grow my team members by the end of the year in 2022 by 10. So to go from 4 agents to 10 agents by the end of 2022. So what that looks like is having a full-time administrative person, a TC, and staff, so that I can go into coaching full-time. Right? So that is my goal for Maine through January to December of 2022, to get my team functioning, up and running, and step into coaching full-time.
Ladies, to identify one of their goals, and then we're going to circle back around, and Nathan, I'm going to have you get ready to show the success wheel, because you're going to be more successful in an area where you're already successful, right? That's what we do. We do what we do well because that's what we choose to do. So have each of you identify something that you're going to do, and then we're going to come back around again with what else are you going to do? Because I know there's more, and I'm going to challenge you and each of you to think beyond what you're currently doing to that next level. So for example, for me, if I've been doing work again to help others and I haven't been helping myself, that's kind of thing 1, right? I need to roll back and do that. But the fitness is the piece where it's probably it's the worst area of focus for me. And so I'm really going to invest some time in that offset. So I'm going to have each of you circle back to, because Crystal, matter of fact, let me just ask you now. Let's just do for a second. Yeah. So you just shared what you're going to do from a business perspective.
Right.
Is there something on your success wheel, right? And we'll have Nathan share that in just a second. But is there another area of your life that you haven't focused on where you would like to?
Yeah. So what hit me was when Ben Fairfield and Don Hobbs shared about how when we're focusing on specific areas in our life, when we focus on that, it is going to take attention from something else. So let's just get real personal here, ladies. I'm 35 years old. I'm single. I have no children, and my business and my wellness. I work out twice a day. I work out twice this morning. All of that is going well. However, I'm completely single. I have no love life. The small relationships that I do have, though, are very, very tight. I'm super grateful for them, but I'm not dating. So I will say that for a personal goal for me in my life, what's missing on my success wheel is love.
I'm so excited about that one, because what we're going to do collectively is we're going to help you be intentional about focusing on that. To your point, you've invested time in one area and now you're going to focus on, oh my God, your love life. I'm a great wing woman, by the way. So we got some work to do. This is going to be fun. So is Jennifer Ness. I think we're going to have a good time with you, Crystal, on that one. So, before we go to Jennifer Ness, Nathan, can you pull up the success wheel? Do you have it ready for us? So as I use this language, can you zoom in a little bit on that picture? Can you zoom in a little bit more? Is that the best you got? Okay, so that is the success wheel, and there are different areas of our lives where we can choose to focus, right? Do either of you ladies want to talk about that, or do you want me to just go through it real quick?
I'm ready.
Go ahead. Tell me a little bit about it.
So, talk about the wheel or talk about my goals?
Talk about the wheel real quick.
Okay, so I see your wheel. Your wheel has what, 5 different areas, but I focus on like 10 different areas. So maybe some of my areas are in your wheel, and it's probably very likely. So maybe I'm not the one to talk about y'all's wheel.
Yeah, I think we should have one of the other coaches talk about the success wheel. There are 10 areas.
You had called me to share my goals. That's why I went out.
Okay, sorry. Yes. So I'm gonna have Crystal or Lisa. You want to talk real quick about the goals? I'm as you know, I'm having some technical difficulties here, so I can't actually see it.
I touched on the wheel a little bit. And I think what I really like about this is if we look at our life like a pie and we're super honest with ourselves, like where are we really at? Like sometimes when we think we're at a 6 or an 8 or maybe even a 10, we're probably really at a 3. So it's really nice to, I like simple graphs and charts. So if we can really color code this and go, okay, where am I at in my wellness? Where am I at in my spirituality? Where am I focusing more of my time, and where could I invest a little bit more? And that's what I really like about this success wheel is we might look really successful in one area, but our lives really are like a pie. And so I really like this wheel for that.
I love it. So I actually do have my book right in front of me. So I'm going to share real quick what people are looking at. There's a wheel in front of you. The numbers on the inside are closer to 1. And as you go out, you get to a 10. So if you start with a 1, that means I'm not really, how satisfied are you with your life in that particular area? The 5 areas are like petals of flowers. You see a blue one, a purple one, a yellow one, a pink, and a green. The blue, the one at the very top right-hand side, if you were going to go clockwise, it says purpose. That's the area. And under purpose, the two lines that are there are spirituality and growth and learning. Then you have wellness, which is the gold flower petal. And under wellness is health and fitness, and then fun and recreation. At the very bottom, if you keep going clockwise, you see this kind of fuchsia colored it's relationships at the very bottom, and under there it's love, and then family and friends. And then to the left you see the green one, that's social, and it's environment, your environment as well as your community. And then the blue one, again, kind of that last one, if you're going counterclockwise, is business, and that's really work, money, and finance. So as I think about my circle, I definitely started with, thank you, Nathan, for showing that detail. We'll go back to the girls. So what I actually wanted to do was really focus on, again, we all have areas where we are thriving. So you can take the picture down now, Nathan. Thank you. So I'm looking at purpose, wellness, relationships, social, and business. And so we got business ladies on this call, and I spoke to both Crystal and Lisa beforehand, and I know Jennifer Ness, and so I know a lot of their priorities are in the areas where they're already thriving, in work and finance and business, right? Like that's what they do. And so we are also going to lean in personally, and we're going to share that we also have work that we want to do potentially in our personal lives, or maybe it's in wellness or social or whatever, but we're going to definitely make sure we're putting ourselves out there for each of you. So now I can go to you, Jennifer Ness. I just wanted to put the success language out there. Thank you for that. So if you had to think about one goal that you're going to achieve, can you share what that's going to be? And then I'm going to have you go to some area where you would say on a scale of 1 to 10, right? You might be the lowest, and where we're going to say, hey, let's lean in to say, what are you going to do to achieve in that area?
So I break my goals down similarly to your wheel. And I do this with my clients, but my areas are educationally, spiritually, financially, recreationally, emotionally, occupationally, aspirationally, physically, mentally, familial. And then so for one goal for me is let me just pick an area because I don't know about y'all, but I already got started. And writing my goals.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
So what is your top goal? Like, if there was only one thing that you could
I don't
accomplish,
have a top goal. I have several goals in every area. So I'm just gonna tell you one area, if that's okay. Is that okay? Okay.
for
All
sure.
right.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'll just pick my recreational area. I'm going to visit at least 4 countries. I'm going to enjoy leisure travel. My countries are Egypt, Italy, Greece, Dubai, and or Jamaica. I'm going to shoot at least 3 photo shoots and experiences. I'm going to do a flying dress photo shoot. I'm going to host a party at our new house. I'm going to have an amazing outdoor living space that is COVID friendly. And I'm going to go on at least 4 hikes around Washington and visit family in Ohio at least 4 times. So that's my recreational goals. But I create goals on each of those categories that you all.
For sure. But if we had to prioritize, because we do, I mean, we have limited amounts of time. We do have to prioritize. Is there one area where you would say, if you had to do an assessment, or maybe you chose that area because that's the one where you feel like you needed to do the most work? Is that why you chose that one?
I think I have work to do equally in all of my areas. I don't ever look at myself as I've arrived. I'm constantly growing and thriving, and that's in every area. So if I look at each of these, like even educationally, I'm going to read at least 50 books this year. I'm going to learn a conversational Spanish. I don't know any Spanish. I know hola, como está, but I'm going to learn conversational Spanish. This is my educational area.
Let me ask you a question. So real quick, do you actually measure your level of contentment or your level of attainment? I mean, we're all growing for sure, but again, if you have those 5 areas, are you putting any numbers? Like, are you measuring them to say, hey, right now I'm an 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4? You putting any numbers to that? That's kind of one of the things that we find to be important.
I am not on the same level as y'all or coaching pathway as y'all, but I do that. I just haven't done it yet. So you're asking me something I haven't done yet. I just started writing this 2 days ago. And I started creating my vision board based on this. So as far as quantifying, I hear what you're saying. Quantifying and saying, I'm a 5 or a 6 here. I do that. I have my own wheel that I use. So yes, I do that. I have not done that.
Okay, so if you think about last year, well, like in the past.
So I got last year's, girl.
Yeah. So just tell me, if you had to think about something that you're gonna do, like in general, don't you have to give me last year's, but like in general, the scoring, because I think what the message we want to put out today is that with this concept of this success wheel, whether it's my wheel, your wheel, or any type of wheel, there's all kind of success wheels that are out there. This just happens to be one of them. So I love what you're doing. The idea of saying you pause at this moment in 2022, you're in January, you get to pause and write down those 5, even if it's 5 categories. If it's not 10, it's 5. We're asking people to listen to the kind of the words that are coming out of our mouths, listen to the work that we're actually doing, and really doing that work as well, right? To be able to assess their own lives. Where are they? And once they do that level of assessment, then they're able to come back with a clearer picture of where they should focus. And then we have, steps to take in order to help people get to that level of success. So I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to see
my lowest one in 2020 going into 2021 was spiritual. Because of COVID, I had stopped doing a lot of things that I was doing. And so that was my lowest one as far as when I ranked them going into 2021. And that has actually increased, as a result of me writing it down and making it a priority. But that was my lowest one. It was like COVID. I was no longer going and worshiping in the traditional sense anymore. I am not trying to be around a ton of people. Initially I started watching on TV. I'm sorry, on live and on social media. And then I got away from that. That got boring for me. So I'm just telling you, this is my life. So I was just like, you know what? This is the area where I'm lowest because of the social distancing, because of what COVID did to me in my life. So that's where I needed to grow in 2021. So if you ask me to look back, that was my lowest point.
I love that. So now people are, you're hearing us, like each of us as coaches, we realize the importance of assessing your life numerically, putting a number to it. And it's your number, it's not ours, right? So just write down the 5 things: purpose, wellness, relationship, social, business, right? These types of areas of or categories, and then do an assessment at your highest and your lowest on a scale of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 5, whatever works best for you. And then in the area where you know you're the lowest, it's like having a flat wheel, right? A wheel can't turn if one half of it is flat. So we're going to go to Miss Lisa. Thank you for that. Jennifer Ness, we'll come back to you. Miss Lisa, similar question for you. What is your top goal for 2022 if you had to just choose one?
My big goal for, you mean 2022? 2022 is I want to speak on the stage at an EXP convention. I'm a commercial broker, and there are a lot of residential agents. I've been a commercial broker for many, many years, and in fact, I just had a personal best on December 24th, Christmas Eve. I had the biggest success of my long time commercial real estate career. And so I've reached a point in my education and experience level where there are lots of residential agents who want to learn commercial. So I want to build a team and build my business so that I've reached a point where I need some help. I have enough business that I can't really get to it all. So I want to build a team, and as part of that, I can give people things to work on right away because I have a book of business that's more than I can do by myself. And through that success and the success of building that team and the success of the success coaching business, a combination or culmination of the two, I'd like to have an opportunity to speak on the stage at an EXP convention. So it's kind of a 2-part goal in that, the goal is to speak at the convention, but they're not going to let you do that unless you've had some success. So it's sort of a 2-part goal in that I want to achieve the success that would enable me to do that.
You've already been successful in business, which I love that. And now basically you're saying there's another area, right? I want to get to an even higher level. So when you told me about the success that you had in December, what was that again? Can you just share it with the group so they get an understanding? It's not bragging when it's true.
Yes.
Well, it is true. Then I represented both sides. I represented both the buyer and the seller on a purchase and sale of a $7 million big historical building on one of the main streets in Raleigh. And it was pretty exciting. I mean, it's a building that everybody knows. It's a major landmark, and the opportunity to represent both the buyer and the seller was really amazing for me, because what it meant was they both put a lot of trust in me in order to let me represent both sides. So it was quite a compliment.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And now also for you, I see one of my favorite people, so I'm not going to try to get overly excited. Hey, Dr. Tart. Thank you for joining us.
How are y'all? Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year. Congratulations.
Isn't that huge? Okay, so we're also, what we're doing, Dr. Tart, is we're talking about our goals for 2022, what we're going to do, but now we're also looking for that stretch goal, right? There's always an area in our life where we're not jamming, I'll say, where we've not focused, where we've had to take our eye kind of off the ball a little bit. And so, Lisa, tell us, what might that area be? I was challenging you yesterday and you were giving me a hard time, lovingly. And I told you, we're going to talk about it today. So get ready. So did you decide on some area in your life that you're going to focus on?
I think very lovingly, I think we referred to my success wheel as a cinder block yesterday.
I did not know your wheel of life.
Yeah. My wheel's not round. My wheel's not round at all. My wheel's real flat. Well, yeah, I mean, that was a personal best opportunity for me, and I really put all my time,
So,
focus,
so,
energy.
so, so we're talking about what else are you going
I
to do?
know,
Where's the wheel
I know.
flat? Okay.
Everywhere else, my wheel is flat everywhere else. But
It's not.
primarily the area that's the most that's really bothering me that I want to work on is get back in shape. I've let my health go because I would just get up and work on that project and from morning to night and get up and do it again. And so I want to take some time back for me now that that's successfully been accomplished. I want to start exercising again, watching what I eat again, and just become healthy and again. So the
I love
health and wellness is the area I want to realize again, realize is equally important. I can't achieve any other goals that I'm going to set if I'm not healthy. So
I love that. I love that. Now, you know what we're doing is we're also talking about specifically what are you going to do, right? So part of us saying this other goal, we're going to accomplish a goal, and the question is, what are you going to do? You know, we're lovingly being accountable to each other and to the universe. We're putting it out there. So what are you going to do to improve your health? What is that one thing you're going to commit to today?
there's a gym across the street from me in my neighborhood that I'm a member of and don't go to. And it's in my neighborhood, walking distance. Shame on me. Shame on me. So
No shame, never any shame, right? Look at Dr. Car's like, no, never any shame. Because again, we do what we can do, and now we're committed to doing something different. And that's really what success is about. Success is about taking the actions. I think people often think it's a whole other big thing. It's about the little actions that you do every day that accumulate to achieving your goal. That's why I can honestly say that as a success coach, I can help anyone achieve any goal, period. If you really want to achieve it, we know how to do it, right? And we know what that process would look like. So I appreciate you saying that and identifying what you are going to do. We're going to circle back around to some additional success factors in 1 second. And now we're going to go to one of my other favorite people, Dr. Jerry Bird Tart. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Tart.
For having me. I'm so, can you hear me? Am I not?
We can hear you perfectly.
Yeah,
This is great.
I am. I was interrupted just before I got online with my stepson and his wife coming over, and so at any rate, here I am. Happy New Year, everybody! This is phenomenal.
It is. So for 2022, Dr. Sharp, first of all, tell the people who you are, because I've known you for decades now. It feels like you're my family, and I love everything about you. So tell the people who you are and what is one of your goals for 2022.
Well, I am a psychotherapist here in Orlando, Florida. I have been in the arena for more than 3 decades, but I've been in private practice for the last 2 decades. And this year, I am officially retiring as of December, if it's the Lord's will. So that's kind of one of the goals that I've established and I've set. Don't look like that, Traci.
That was me celebrating you. That's amazing.
Yes. So if it's the Lord's will, come December, that's what I'm doing. However, as it relates to my stretch, that's what I'm hearing you say. Kind of one of the new goals. I'm really wanting to become more available and intentional in speaking. I've got an engagement on the 29th of this month at a church in Jacksonville. So, and my some girlfriends of mine, and I've just become a what do you call it? I'm on the board of directors to help young ladies to stretch themselves and to um, uh, become become aware of their available gifts that God has given them. So it's going to be God centered, and that's kind of where we're going right now. So I'm really excited about that. So that's my stretch. How about that?
Amazing.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I am so proud and excited for you.
I am
Woo,
too.
we just got thumbs up from everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we looks like I saw Dr. Stephanie Wynn join us, and it looks like she dropped, and some people are having some technical issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep moving on this conversation, because our goal was to personally put ourselves out there, right, to talk about what we have done that's successful, what we're going to do as individuals. Can we talk a little bit, ladies, about what we know? Oh, there's Dr. Wynn. Dr. Stephanie, can you hear us?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
I can.
Yes.
Okay, well,
So I'm going to ask you
I
the same
am
question.
hoping that you can hear me, because I have blank screens. Everybody's picture went blank on my screen. So
Can you hear us now?
I
you hear us
am Dr. Stephanie Wynn at Dr. Wynn Global, counselor, coach, and consultant. I have been in counseling and coaching for over 20 years. I'm also an entrepreneur. Know this awesome lady Traci for the last couple of years now, and she is awesome. So thank you for having me on the show. I have heard some of the parts of the show. Again, I'm having technical difficulties because I cannot see anyone but me. So if I'm talking and you need to cut me off or something, you might have to shoot me a text. I don't
It's
know.
great. No, you're
But
great.
I'm
Can
really,
you hear
really
us?
excited. I heard some
So can you hear us? Can you hear us, Dr. Wynn?
relationships. So I look forward to helping with that.
Can you hear us, Dr. Wynn? Maybe she cannot hear us. Okay. There you go. So, ladies, we're going to hope to get her back with some, because I'm having technical issues too, but I can see you each and you can hear me, so that's a good thing. So, ladies, what we're going to talk about right now is we're going to transition. We're halfway through our time. Can you believe how fast? Over halfway through our time. So what we want to do is we want to help people. Part of today's goal is it's the new year. People are making these declarations about what they're going to do, these resolutions, and we're saying, hey, a resolution does not have to be this wild goal, this wow thing that's out there that you know you've tried before and failed, right? We, as success coaches, success is a prescription. Success is about taking these incremental actions. So, ladies, one of the things I think, and one of the areas where people fail is that they don't plan for obstacles. They don't plan to eliminate barriers that they know have prevented them from achieving that goal in the past. So I'm going to talk about some of my goals and things that we know people can do. And I'm going to ask each of you to do the same thing. And we'll kind of lean in on the topic. So, for example, on the topic of fitness, many of us want to be healthier, right? Some of us have already achieved those goals. So let's talk collectively about what we want to do and what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to work out, not only work out 3 days a week, I'm going to work out on Facebook Live 3 days a week. Something about being able to help others to get online, that motivates me, right? That's kind of part of my thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that for 3 weeks, then I'm going to increase it to another set of days. And that's part of what I'm going to do. But I'm also not going to do some things, right, as it relates to things that have areas where I've had challenges, right? Because I've never focused on this for any extended period of time, period. That's all I'll say. And right now I'm in the middle of a breakup. I ended a relationship with someone that I was with for 14 years. And so I did some emotional eating over the holidays. Dr. Tar.
In there.
Just saying. And it was my choice to end the relationship. But I have to admit, I was not choosing to say no. I decided I was going to just have what I wanted, even though I knew it wasn't going to be healthy for me. But then I said, when the new year comes, that's not going to be an option. Occasionally I will have some things and we'll figure my life out. But what I'm excited about is making choices, what I'm going to do and also what we're not going to do. And I think in the past, putting that verbal commitment out there, saying that I'm going to work out live on Facebook Live 3 days a week, putting that into the universe and then just doing it, it gets me so excited. So that's going to be a huge win for me. One of the obstacles in the past is saying something and doing it in the dark by myself, and there's no real accountability. So I'm excited about that. So does anyone want to say, if you have a fitness goal or any other tips that you would want to share with anyone who might be focusing on fitness this year? Does anyone have any tips that they would want to share? Dr. Tart, you're muted. but you're a
Oh,
psychologist. So this is a mind game. So I'm glad you have something to say. What do you have to say to people about
okay.
the psychology of change and what they can do?
How can I unmute myself? Can you
Oh, you're
still not hear me?
You
You're
hear?
good now.
Okay, good. Well, first, to answer the first part of your question in terms of what have I done, in October, I made a conscious decision to stop eating white sugar, trying to be mindful, of not eating anything that was not natural sugar, that didn't have natural sugar in it. And I was successful. But what I did do is I shared it. I shared it with my husband. I shared it with my kids to let them know that. So when we went out to dinner or whatever, or went out to lunch or whatever, I said, I'm not going to have that because of whatever, yada, yada. And it was a good move for October because I was kind of preparing myself for Thanksgiving, and whatever. So at Thanksgiving, I did make my potato pies and those kinds of things. But it was, you said something about accountability, Traci, as it relates to doing it online and having others to know that this was something that you want to be held accountable for. So I think doing whatever it is that we choose to do, when we first and foremost, and I'm very serious about this, when we pray about it and we ask God, because the scripture says that the steps of a righteous man have already been ordered. So then we have to check in with him to find out, like, where am I going with this? Because we need more than just us to try to do this. Yeah. Anyway, that was one of the things that was very, very beneficial. You said, I think the rest of your question was, what's the mindset? What is your mindset? You said something early on about recognizing your stumbling blocks. So there's an investment in those stumbling blocks, and you got to understand that. So your willingness to change that investment is a biggie. That's a biggie. I didn't get her name. Was it Jennifer? I'm sorry. The young lady right here that was talking before I came on. Jennifer? Yeah. Oh,
Jennifer.
yeah. Oh, okay. Lisa, when you were talking about the place being across the street or in your same neighborhood, what's the reason that you've not gone before? And I don't ask that for you to give me an answer, but I want you to find out why it is that wasn't a viable option before, because whatever that is, you have an investment in that reason. So you want to revisit that investment and then determine what part of that are you willing to let go of and what part of it are you willing to maintain, because there's a significance for you in doing that. So if there was anything if that one thing that I can say that can make a difference is to recognize why it is that was an option for you once before. If that makes sense.
It does. I love that so much. Does anyone else have any thoughts about tips and tricks? I see two people going to their phones. Jennifer Dash, yes, ma'am. What do you want to share that might be helpful for individuals who want to be healthier, focus on an improved health life?
I think for one thing, you have to make it a lifestyle. You have to be consistent. So just starting something and feeling like, oh, I'm going to see a change and it's going to be amazing. Yeah, no. So you have to make it a lifestyle and just be super consistent, because you may not see results right away. One of the things that Dr. Tart said that resonated with me is she said, reinvestment. You have to reinvest in that beautiful thinking more than you invested in that stinking thinking, because now you already have a deficit in the beautiful thinking. There's a deficit and there's a surplus in the stinking thinking. So you have to flip that by reinvesting and then having some surplus in the beautiful thinking. And so no matter what it is, no matter what your goal is, we have to set in our mind, and we got to renew our mind daily. You can't just say one day I'm going to do this and it's just happening. No, we have to renew our mind daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes minutely. And so in doing so, you can start to envision whatever that end result is. Whatever you take, any of your goals, for example, for me, I know I'm going to read 48 books this year. Guess what? I finished one already yesterday. So my point is, I already envisioned this is what I want to do. So it's a part of my lifestyle. I'm investing in this, reinvesting in this. And so I have apps, I have books. Even went to the store and I bought all of these books because guess what? My TV is right here. And so it's easy for me to grab that remote and turn the TV on, unless I see a book sitting right here on the couch. Look, I got 6 books sitting right here. I just finished this one. I got 6 books sitting around me. So now it's in my face. It's something that I know I want to do. So there's no way I'm going to turn on the TV. I'm going to sit around me and look and say, let me grab one of these books. And so looking at things differently, reinvesting, and consistently making up your mind that this is something you want to do, and not feeling like you make up your mind one time and it's just going to happen, because that's unrealistic.
I love that. All heads are nodding. Everyone is like agreeing with you 100%. So talk a little bit about, I think you want to say something, Crystal, Coach Crystal, as well.
I do. I agree with what everyone said there. I think it's so powerful. And one of the things, like you said, is you've got to reinvest every day. I have 3 questions that I ask myself. So is what I'm doing right now going to get me closer to my goal? Is what am I eating right now getting me closer to my goal? Right. So I ask myself that question. And then number 2 is, how am I measuring myself? Right. So am I comparing myself to someone on social media, or am I comparing myself to who I was yesterday? Because I think it's really important that we think about who we want to become, and maybe have a picture on our phone or on our vision board of the goals of what we want to look like. And then I think another thing to ask yourself, another question is how much grace am I giving myself? So I'm a certified yoga teacher, and I think it's really important that we remember that pain is our friend. And so it reminds us where those resistant points are in our life. And so we need to stop and give ourselves grace. And then keep going, right? And then also the final question I ask myself is, how am I rewarding myself? So we have these little small increments, and we have to be able to reward ourselves too. So not starting out so big, like start out with some small increments. Sometimes it's just getting to the gym, right? Sometimes it's just getting there. I did a 75 hard challenge, and I think it took me until about day 51 to really feel like it was become a part of my lifestyle. So you guys, that really resonated with me on the lifestyle side is, who do we really want to become in 2022? Do we want to become this healthy person? Not just because of that it's going to make us more confident, but we're going to be able to use this vehicle. And when we're healthy, we can understand where our limits are so that we can help encourage other people to get beyond their limits. Take yourself to another level, because your health really, really matters. When we're in an airplane, we put the mask on first and then our children. Yes. So same thing. Take care of ourselves first, ask ourselves these in-depth questions, especially when we experience resistance, and then keep going.
You know what I love about you all? Again, every head is nodding once again, because there really are just very simple, we know what it takes to be successful. There's a recipe for success. And so all of us are nodding our heads because we're like, yes, we know what it takes to be successful. It's really in the doing, right? It is in the grace. It is in the planning. It's in all those things. So whether you're talking about weight loss or starting a business, right? Improving your business. It sounds like a couple of you said, hey, I'm going to take my business to another level. Right. I'm going to plan to, Jennifer Ness, you mentioned recreationally, you're going to go to these various countries as well. So those of you who want to talk about your business getting to the next level, or achieving a goal that is so big that you know that there has to be that incrementality, those smaller steps, that making the goal a habit, right? Kind of chunking it into smaller steps. Let's talk a little bit about that process and the importance of that. Yes, Coach Lisa.
That it's funny that I was just sitting here thinking that because some of us have been through the success coaching training, one of the biggest things that success coaching, one of the biggest tools that we use is chunking. So I'm glad that you just brought that up. And so in reference to those of us, myself included, who want to get more healthy in the coming year, I would love for maybe you and Crystal to share some examples of chunking so our audience members can hear what that sounds like.
I think there's a couple of things we can do. Part of the idea of asking you, why is this so important to you right now? So a couple of us have talked about that, the importance of the why. And for me, getting on that bike, I have this interesting piece of equipment that is a elliptical and a recumbent bike, a combination of both of those things. And when I look at each of you, what I love about this is heads are nodding, because this idea of connecting, right, to something bigger than just that bike. It's not about getting on the bike, it's about making it a lifestyle. It's about, how do I think about what does getting on the bike do for me? What does that do for the bigger goal? And for me, I'm looking forward to doing a TED Talk. And so when I get on the bike and I'm doing the work, helping organizations, as I mentioned, in the area of inclusion, it's doing the work. It's saying, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm going to show you what to do, and I'm going to do it myself. I'm also going to lean in. So thank you, ladies, for just going back to the importance of the idea of the big why. Like for me,
I have a question for you, Traci, and
yes,
it's a
please.
comment about these goals. When you originally said I'm going to lose 100 pounds in a year, to me that made me be like, because I don't know if that's realistic, and it could be realistic for you, but it was just one of those things where I feel like sometimes we set these lofty goals and they may or may not be, even if you chunk them. I'm like, girl, that don't sound healthy. But I know it could be. I don't know. But I just think when we're talking to our clients or when we're talking to other folks, maybe we challenge that a little bit and say, girl, are you planning to lose like 20 pounds a month? Like, we understand what that looks like for you, because
absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So that's why I kind of paused as well. So the ultimate goal, whatever the number is going to be what it's going to be. My goal for this year is to increase my level of physical fitness, to make better choices on the food that I eat, and the weight is going to do what the weight's going to do. I need to, according to my own personal, desires, ultimately get there. Will that happen within a year? Probably not, right? Like I actually told a friend of mine, I'm targeting 50 pounds. Right. That is doable. And I know how to do it. I know exactly what to do. Could I do it? Yes. But yes. I'm definitely going to lose 50 pounds in the year. And I have an amount of weight that I'm going to lose each week to ensure that I get there. And I think I can exceed that goal. So absolutely, it is not 100 pounds is kind of just like the number, right? But it's 60 or 50 or 70 or whatever. It's 50 is the number that I've actually documented in my personal journal. But the overall goal for me will be to get, under 200 pounds. Yes. Crystal, you were going to say something? So thank you for that. Jennifer.
Yeah, I was going to say I appreciate that, because when we're looking at goals, they typically say that we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and we underestimate what we can do in 5. So I appreciate you, with that logisticsness. To your point, Lisa, with chunking, here's how I would do this with you, Traci's like, excellent. So you have a goal for 100 pounds in a year. You said 50, but 100 could be obtainable. Do you agree or disagree? 100 pounds could be attainable.
100 pounds could be attainable. My goal is going to be 50. Yes.
Excellent. So 10 pounds a month on. Yes. Okay.
So I'm depending on Nathan. So you can stop unmuting me. You can stop muting me and let me just have this conversation, Nathan. So sorry. Yes. Yes. Whatever you just said. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by my mute button.
So you said 50 is your goal, 100 would be amazing. So that's about 10 pounds a month, correct? Yes. So what are the activities that you're going to be doing maybe in addition to, besides 3 days a week on Facebook Live? Could you hire a trainer, a physical trainer? Hire someone who's going to help you with your diet and your nutrition each week. Yes.
Okay, so Nathan, stop muting me. I don't know what's happening. So yes. I'm expecting at a minimum. So at 50 pounds, with that, I believe that's relatively easy. They talk about 2 pounds a week. So in 52 weeks, like I could lose 100 pounds. What I'm setting myself up for is success. So I'm saying with 50 pounds. So yes, there will be a series of working out, and I'm only saying I'm going to do Facebook Live for 3 of them. I'm going to work out more than that, but in order for my head, because again, when I first, thank you, Jennifer Ness, for calling me out. When I first said 100 pounds, thank you. That's what loving coaches do for other coaches, right? Right. Everyone needs a coach. And so as I was coaching myself, and I first had this conversation about fitness, I said to myself, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I'm going to do it in a week, right? In a month, in a year rather. And it was like, and I'm going to work out every day. going from not working out at all to working out every day. That doesn't make sense. So then I decided what I wanted to do was to make sure I'm coaching myself as I would coach someone else. And so attaining or identifying goals that are achievable in the beginning of creating new habits is really my plan. So I'm going to say 3 days a week. I'm going to achieve 3 days a week, and I'm going to do that for 3 weeks. And then I believe I can go to 4 weeks, 4 days a week, and I'm going to do that for 3 weeks. So I'm building the habit, and then I'm going to go to 5 days a week. So I think for me to have that amount of, consistency, I want to build from zero to some level of, consistency. I'm also working with doctors and doing a whole bunch of other things. And I have every piece of equipment. I have a total gym in the other room. I have this equipment here. I have all kind of online things. I don't have a lot of money, so no, I won't be hiring anyone to do anything for me because I don't think I need that. I have everything I need in this house to move forward for sure. Yes.
Excellent. And as coaches, eventually you will get to a point where you've reached your goal and you're going to want to hire a coach because it's all compounding. And your business will grow. You'll continue be making more money as you're coaching people and hire that out. So that was my thoughts. I just wanted to say you could potentially get there in 1 year, and it might just be a who. It might just be who's going to help you get there and identify that who.
Yes.
That would be chunking. That would be the
chunking. And the other thing, when you think about this idea, I think Jennifer Nessa, it was you who mentioned this idea of, the being these habits, right? We get to decide who we want to be. And so I also call myself, I think about Fit Tracy, right? So that's the personality that I'm taking on. I know what Fit Tracy's would do. And so for me, I call that, I created a term, it's going in my next book. And it's basically this idea of, we talk about that, our superhuman strength, we all have it, right? But when you step into a role and step into that personality that or that person that you want to be, then I talk about what Fit Tracy would not have ice cream right now, even though you know what I mean. Fit Tracy can't wait to get on that bike, right? Fit Tracy can't do that, or Tracy 2.0. So I talk about that person who's different than, I call her Fat Tracy. No, I'm just joking. It's okay. I mean that lovingly because I think I'm gorgeous. So it's all good. But what I think a lot of people, and Jennifer Ness and Dr. Chart, you've heard people say that Black people have big, like we think we have, there's a different level of comfort level, I'll use that term, with being overweight, right? I mean, right? Like our body types. We talk about body types that are different. And so for me, I've been too comfortable allowing myself to be overweight. And so what I'm saying is
who say you overweight? They're looking at some old charts from 1928, white thin women, and they trying to compare us to that. That don't work. Okay. This is 2022. Who says you overweight? You're looking at some old stuff. So yeah, let me just say that.
Dr. Char, what you got to say? Because the truth is, it's not true. So let me just say, that's the kind of encouragement that we get as Black women. But the truth is, when the number is 300 and not 200, that's a problem, right? So let me just say, when I had to, so just my other why, I had to get a seatbelt extender recently, right? In an airplane. I'm just saying, like, we can't, like, you see what I'm saying? There's that rationalization that happens in our community when you talk about the different body types. And so what I'm saying is, I'm at a good place where I'm excited to be on this journey. Yes, Dr. Chart, I see you have something to say. I just want to put that out there because in our community, there's a different mindset sometimes. Yes.
Absolutely. There is a particular mindset that's different. But one of the realities is recognize what's yours. Who are you? I mean, in terms of like, what's healthy, like you say, if it's 250 pounds or whatever, and you have high blood pressure or you're diabetic or whatever, how is that affecting your lifestyle? I mean, and a Black woman or no, the reality is that if you want to be a healthier woman, what is that going to take? You may not lose 100 pounds, but
Ladies, we're at time. we got music playing. I lost your voice, so thank you so much. This is Traci Harrell. It's bigger than me. Thanks.
The views expressed